Testing voice 1 2 3 1 2 3. Testing voice 1 2 3. Testing. One two three 1 2 3. Hello hello hello.
Olives had a major run. Maraschino cherries, major run. No one had a run like limes. No one.
All right, here we go. So, hello everyone, welcome. All right, so my name is Talal, and I am a digital artist. Sorry, let me try it again. My name is Talal, and I am a digital specialist and community manager working at the company Nuwe. A little background on Nuwe. It is a tech industry recruitment process. All right, hold on. Let me try this one more time. I'm messing up. All right, so a little background on Nuwe. In the tech industry process, in the tech industry, recruitment processes have been notoriously known for, in many cases, their unsubstantiated level of difficulty, which is the exact problem that Nuwe had set out to solve. Now, the platform we are creating is a tech-oriented Q&A and community challenge website that quantifies your skills and abilities and facilitates the hiring recruitment process. So, well, the hiring and recruitment processes. Now, if this sounds like something that would be interesting to you, I would love it if you showed us some support and followed us on our socials, and maybe even checked out our website. You'll find the links for all of those down in the description box below. So to give you an idea of what we're doing here, the higher ups at Nuwe decided that it would be a good idea to sponsor these Twitch streams so that I could connect with my community, or our community, and grow it while I learn how to code. I mean, it's a great opportunity for me because it gives me the time to work towards my aspirations of becoming a proficient developer, or a web developer at that. And for that, I want to send out a huge thank you to everyone who made this possible. Now, you probably can find like many coding tutorials online that can teach you absolutely everything you need to know about whatever language that you want to learn, which is why we're trying to take a different approach. To instead take you through the journey of someone who isn't very good at coding, and, well, that being myself, up until I'm able to build and possibly deliver a fully developed product. You'll get to see the difficulties I encounter and how I overcome them. And yeah. So like I said before, my goal is to build a browser-based game that I will build essentially from scratch using React or whatever package that I can use along with that. And yeah, I mean, my knowledge in web development is very limited, and so I will be learning as I go. Now, I know it's a very daunting challenge that I'm setting up for myself, but hopefully you might find some inspiration as you follow along with my progress and the game's development. I'll probably do some sort of a blog where you guys can jump on and kind of read through the things that I've been doing throughout the week or throughout the month or something like that, but nothing is planned in that regard thus far. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, with that said, I'm super excited to get started, and I hope that my perseverance through the task at hand will be something enjoyable to watch. With that said, I can start giving you a little bit of an intro of what kind of game I would like to create. And let me see if my hotkeys work first. Okay, so I hope music is not too loud. All right, so basically the game that I want to create is something similar to Tribal Wars, if you ever played it. Okay, I need to sign in. All right, so just to show you real quick. Actually, you know what? I can show it to you on a different website. All right, so the game is essentially one that is based in HTML, JavaScript, and what happens is that you take control of a village such as this, and you build it up to a level where you start being able to generate this unit that allows you to conquer other villages. And so you start conquering other players, and by doing that you essentially throw them out of the game, right? So for example, if I hover over this village over here, you can see like all the other villages, they are getting highlighted as well. That is, you know, that's specifying that that's the same player that I'm hovering over, right? So essentially what he did, he grew up his first village and started conquering others and others, and eventually, like, you can kind of see he has like, well, I'm not sure if that's like an entire player. I think it is. Hold on, it might be an entire tribe. Where's the name? Village. I think this is yeah, I think it's okay. All right. So here, let me highlight player instead of the tribe, right? So if I put yellow instead, there you go. So now you can see that all these yellow colors are the same player essentially, which is crazy, by the way. If you didn't know, if you don't know, if you never played this game, these guys are really far into this game, or at least into this. I mean, this server's been going on for a while. You can tell for sure. But anyway, so the basics of this game is to basically grow your village, conquer other villages, and there's a lot of technical, you know, gameplay mechanics that, you know, come in between, like how you attack, then how you conquer and stuff like that. It's super complicated, super complex, but I remember playing it back in 2008. I was super excited about it, and I was looking forward for it becoming something much better, you know, and I was like really looking forward to like updates and you know, like what they were gonna do next, but they never really ended up releasing anything that was worthwhile for me, at least, which was a little bit disappointing. But can't do much about it. But they have though released several other games. Instead of going instead of working on the depth of experience, they decided to go on the breadth of experience. And instead of like working on Tribal Wars and making it better and polishing that, they decided that, all right, we're just going to create, you know, several other games, and then, you know, possibly be better able to cover more ground, which is, you know, like, I don't know what to say about that, to be honest. Maybe they, you know, like, maybe they had their own strategies, you know, like they figured it out and they decided that for their community, that was the best thing to do. But personally, I would have preferred that they went further into Tribal Wars and made that a better game. So, yeah, eventually they released Tribal Wars 2, and when I heard the I don't know why it's closing. So they eventually released Tribal Wars 2, and I was pretty excited about that. Thinking to myself, like, oh, finally, you know, like they are going to be fixing all the things that that we wanted to have fixed in Tribal Wars 1, or you know, like build on Tribal Wars in a way that was going to be like interesting and you know, was going to be like some sort of a breakthrough in browser game development. Unfortunately, that wasn't really the case, at least for me. I played the game and I felt like it was a little bit too generic, and it followed the development. No, hold on. It followed the design ideas, let's say, like the game design ideas of several other games within the browser-based game industry, and it just wasn't able to stand out for me, you know. And I felt like the UI was super complicated. There was so much to look at. There was a lot of things to do. Recruitment felt redundant, you know, like when you train a unit, Tribal Wars 1, you felt like, oh shit, you know, I did something. But in this one, they give you the recruitment with a slider, and you can slide the slider, and it's just, you know, all in all, the design was just not something that's appealing for me. So yeah, it was another disappointment, let's just say that. Or at least that's what I wanted to say, that it was another disappointment, right? One other game that they have created that was interesting that I'm gonna end, this with is the West, which I felt like it was, a nice little. Hold on, I can't. It was a nice little, exploration, in terms of concept, for a browser-based game, but still was experience was lacking. So anyway, having said that, I am setting out to create something that is similar to Tribal Wars and the West. Actually, could be. It could be said that it would be something similar to the West as well. Let's see if they have any pictures that I can show you guys. Right. Right, so you can like build forts and defend them together with your friends, but it's an automated battle system, right? Which is something that's cool, right? But then again, like, something was always missing when I was playing this game. I don't know what it was exactly. And then you have the towns, and you can like grow the towns, you can build them up, and you can be the sheriff of this town. You can go into like each and every one of these stores, and you can buy guns and stuff depending on the level of the shop. You can get better weapons, you can get better equipment. And essentially how the game starts is that you're like a lone cowboy or something, or whatever it is, and you just like go around the map, and you start accepting these jobs from these different people, let's say, but like jobs that you accept, whereas like, all right, so you go here to the cotton fields and you pick cotton, and then you get some gold from that, and then you move on to doing other things, and as you do these things, you also get leveled up. Okay, so that was a tour apparently, but it does kind of mirror some of the things that I would like to have in my game as well, but I would like to have it a little bit more more of an open experience, right? Like emergent gameplay and stuff like that. I mean, I know these are big words to be using, especially when I haven't been especially since I'm not at any level at which I can develop a video game to start with. But you shoot to the stars and you hit the moon, right? As the saying goes. So that being said, let me see if I can switch over to my. There we go. All right, so I'm going to show you guys what I was able to create so far. It's arguably laughable because it's nothing too major. Oh no, not the exercise. All right, there we go, game one. Right. All right. Super excited, by the way. Like when this opened up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember where I was yesterday. Yeah, I was working on this yesterday. I was working on this shop thing where I was trying to practice how to do API calls and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what this was, but we're not working with this today. We're working with that instead. Right. I'll explain what I'm doing here in a second. Okay. All right, so what I need to do to show you guys where I'm at is start the server. Okay. So all I've been able to build up to this point is essentially this square that you see in front of you, right? And essentially what this is supposed to be is the map, right? And it was like a sort of a practice thing that I was aiming for. I was, you know, like this is definitely not going to be like the the final thing, but I was working my way, you know, towards figuring out how I want to create, what I want to create, and how I was going to be able to achieve that. So anyway, using for loops, I generate this grid, and this grid, you know, gives a color to each one of these squares. And these squares have different colors because the what's it called? Topography. The topography of the map is supposed to influence the way that the units fight on the map, right? So if you were on a high ground, you would have a boost to attack, and if you were on low ground, you would have a reduction in defense, right? So that's what this is essentially. And all I was able to do up to this point was to make the CSS show a outline. I think if we open the F12 over here, actually all printing out the name of the square. One thing I gotta fix though is that the name is showing up every time I'm deselecting the square, and I wanted to show the square I'm selecting in the console whenever I'm selecting it instead. So that's going to be one thing I'm going to be working on today. But anyway, I figured, okay, like the map, or generating a map in HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, or whatever, it's kind of difficult to do in JavaScript and CSS and HTML, right? So I eventually went into processing. You guys know that processing is based in Java, and I was able to create a map generator tied to that, which basically generates a map for you. Well, the program essentially generates a map for you using Perl and noise, and it kind of looks like this. Bam. So, I don't know about you guys, but it looks good to me, right? And then I can press space, and I change the way it looks. And the interesting thing about it is that every time I press space, it's actually saving the information of where each square is placed, and well, not the color, but the float number that specifies what color should be at each square with JSON file. And the JSON file is somewhere. It's right here. Right, so this is the JSON file that is getting saved, and it's actually open here. What? I think this is the old one. Hold on, that's new. Has it been overwriting it, or is it? Okay, let me try this again, because this is new. Okay, these null values were not appearing before. They're appearing now for some reason. What? 18,000 null values. I did not change anything in the code since yesterday. I have no idea why they're showing up. All right, so it looks like we're jumping straight into it then. All right. Okay. By the way, you guys got constructive criticism or commentary or any help whatsoever is greatly appreciated. So essentially the first problem that I will try to be solving, figuring out why do I have these null values appearing in my JSON file, which is again something that hasn't been happening yesterday when I was testing the program. So I have absolutely no idea how they're showing up. One thing is good though is that all the rest of the coordinates are showing up correctly. The final one should be in 35. That's what did I do yesterday? Yesterday I tried to change the size. I saved it back the way it was, so oh yeah. All right, I added these over here. I'm not sure whether or not they make a difference. Check to see if it does. Oh, it does. Why though? All right, noted. What if we said save this into a function then called the function? That'd be a better. All right, I'm gonna have to look it up actually. Saving. Next function. You know, just a disclaimer, I do not usually work with JavaScript nor processing. I picked up the program here that generates the map off of a YouTube tutorial. So, looking at it, I understand what's going on for the most part. But if you ask me to build something similar to that, I would probably, trip a few times before I figure it out. We'll probably have to do a lot of Googling. Okay, so save is not what we're looking for. All right, okay, just tell me how to create a function. How to create a function. And processing. Create a function, you write return type, often void. Does it have a return? It doesn't have a return. That's correct. Okay, void. Let's build it here. Void. Then its name. Text. Then parameters. I don't think we're gonna pass any parameters. Right. Problem that char x and char y being defined over here. So what we want to do, find them instead, global scope instead. Right? Right. Okay, and then over here. Bam. Okay, and what about int I and int j? All right, let me see if I can do that with the int i's and j's. Maybe we can pass them instead. I and j. Class I does not exist. What if I do this? Like I have no idea how I'm figuring this out. Okay, so text format, if we pass this function over text format. Right, int and int, right? So we will take I and j. Perfect. Let's see if it works now with the text. Beautiful. Absolutely. That's not what I was intending to do, but it looks fucking fantastic. But look how pretty. All right, so essentially what I was trying to do, and the reason why there's numbers in here, is because I was trying to make sure whether or not the coordinates that I was receiving in the JSON file are correct, right? So 0, 1 would be this, 0, 1, 1 would be this, 1 would be this, 0. All right, so it's actually, okay. See, like initially I thought it was going to be like lines, right? So it would be like X would get completed first and then it goes to the second row and then, but so instead of it being 0, 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 in a horizontal, it would be like that in vertical, but clearly the other way around. If that makes any sense whatsoever, which is good to know, by the way, because now whenever we're going to be doing the unit movements, right? Because essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing, let's see, we're going to be grabbing this map right here, right? Or the map that we generate in processing, which we will render in HTML through the JSON file that we're saving to in the processing, through the processing program. And we're going to be able to click on where the unit is and then click on another square. And we're going to be able to see that unit kind of move from one square to the other. And so if you are to do that, you need to know the coordinates of these two squares. I'll go into it in more depth and how I'm looking to solve this this problem, and well, when the time comes, right? But yeah, essentially I need to know, like, okay, what are the coordinates of this square, and then just, you know, do some math to make the unit move from here to there. And it will probably, I'm not sure how it would look like. It would the movement might look like something like this, you know. Well, I wouldn't say like it would move directly towards the point, but instead it would like a stair kind of move, probably like that. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it like that diagonally, only if I can figure out how I can do a hexagonal shape and then use that hexagonal shape to create a map. Only then would I be willing to do that kind of movement. You know? Because whenever I think of it in my head, it's like, you know, the unit's not going to move through that corner right here, you know? It's just not realistic to me. So that's why I want to make it so that it's a stair-like kind of movement. All right. So good thing is we were able to figure out this, and well, not entirely really. Now we can't see the map, but we only can see the coordinates. Starts from 0, 1. Although we do have a 0, 0. It's not showing up. If it's not showing up, I don't know why it's getting saved. I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem. I mean, we could pass something like here on the values at object. So we can do this. We can say if x is not equal to 0 or y is not equal to 0. Right? Do this. Oh. Oh. Right? Okay, now if you save that and we try to rerun it. There we go. Damn. Okay, it's you know, it's nice when you figure things out. Okay. So now we were able to make the map generate with the 0, 1 being the starting point, just like what we can see over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but pretty much the first coordinate right here on the top left is the 0, 1. And the 0, 0 wasn't appearing, but it was appearing in our JSON file. So that was a nice fix. And the bottom right corner is the 5335, which is correct, right? And it's 5335 because it essentially follows the size of the window, which we have set over here, right? We take 1080, and we take 1080 by 720, and we run it through the for loops over here, dividing the width and the height, which are essentially the width and the height of the window, and we divide them by the tile size, which is 20, and essentially it should give you like 50, 54, 36 or something like that. Excuse me. So that's good. All right. Now, one thing I would like to figure out, or I'm not sure if it's worth figuring out, because now we know, that it's working fine, right? So we can just like comment it out. We don't necessarily need to use the text formatting anymore. Save that and replay it. We should be getting the old again. Perfect. All right. Well, that's good. Now we know. Now we know that we know what we didn't know. And the next exercise that I could be doing is to take that JSON and to render it on my browser. So I would be rendering it here. I'm not sure I want to edit it here, or well, I guess we can do a new component. I just don't want to mess things up over here. The other problem is that I have them written, well, the majority of the code in this project is in TypeScript, and I'm not super proficient in TypeScript, so I might have a few hiccups here and there. Right, and there's another thing here that I wanted to do. Yeah, I think think what I wanted to do here, I wanted to declare a set state. Would be something like active square. So essentially this code right here that you see tells the program to draw an outline on the square whenever I click on it. So this is essentially what handles me being able to do this, right? And the problem that I'm facing with this is that every time I click on a square, it's supposed to output which square that I clicked, because maybe there's a unit there and you want to have the actions that you can, well, maybe you want to have whatever window pop up to, you know, make an action or like attack or move or select the unit happen. And it has to, and the way it happens is that, well, the way I think it should happen is that when you click on it, the information of that square should be sent through the program, and then we collect whatever information is saved in the back end, and then we display it in the front end, right? And to do that, we just need to like send some sort of a call of like, hey, you know, send us the information of square 02 and output it in a window right next to it right here, right? So essentially that information has to be sent on the click rather than upon deselecting. So now you can, if you look at the console, you can kind of see how it's outputting only when I deselect it. And you can tell I'm deselecting it because, you know, the outline is appearing. So this is the code that handles that. And so I think the fix for that is to essentially just, instead of like declaring the active square as an HTML element, which is null, we would instead set state, or I don't know if you guys can hear the helicopter in the background, but essentially the way I think that fixes it, the way I think we would be able to fix it, is if we set the state instead of just doing a variable declaration. Set active square, just like that. Then we set that equals to an HTML element. I think this is how it's done. HTML element, right? Which is something like that. That was kind of what I was afraid of. I took the code, TypeScript code, and the way it's written, I took off of a video on YouTube that teaches you how to do a chess game. And this guy is super cool.
Hello.
And I think it's grid snapping.
Hello and welcome.
He does that right here at the end, right? So here,
so we're going to say const active.
right? He had done the same thing and he faced the same error. I think that should fix my problem as well.
And then the HTML element.
I use state, yeah. How could I ever forget?
And then the initial state will be null.
Right, so it's HTML element and the null. I don't know why I'm getting an error still. This expression is not callable. It has no call signatures.
So, we're going to remove this.
Okay, so he's receiving errors as well, right?
Like so.
Alright, let's see if the null here. I have no idea what this means, by the way. Like, use state HTML element null. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. But if that makes it work,
So right here, we set the active piece. Instead of saying active piece equals element, we just say set active piece.
right? Okay, so here. That active square null. That's active element. Oh, helicopters are on fire today. Oh, guys, if you guys can hear it. I'm still receiving an error, though. I'm not sure why that is.
Then right here at the bottom, we also say set active piece, but this time no. And now when we save it and refresh the page, we will see that we can move our pieces.
Active square, HTML element. This expression is not callable. It has no call sign. Let me try to... If you don't specify a type parameter to use state, the type of the state will be inferred from the value passed to use state. If you pass in null, the type of the state will be null, meaning that it can be no other value except null. Specify a wider type. I think this is what we're looking for. Burn the comment everywhere privilege. Burn the T. Question was of one or more. Right, this was when I was trying to figure out how to save the coordinates file. Anyway, I went on a tangent. Oh. Oh. Please tell me that's it. Yes. All right. There was a parentheses that I didn't see. Okay. So now it should work. Let's save that and check the application. React hook use state cannot be called at the top level. React hooks must be called in a React function custom whatever. Pop it in here. Good. Yeah, baby. Oh, no, it's still doing it. Okay, so which return? All right, that's a return. Like on my on mouse down. On mouse down, but it's doing that the second time we click. I want to do that the first time. Okay. Console. Oh, we do have console log stuff. Console log. Because this one I can't see what it's doing. Okay, so the output that I was getting in the console was actually this thing and not the return. But what am I? Where am I sending the return? Map. Okay. Okay. Well, am I outputting it? Right here. Yeah. All right, let's console log this. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Oh. Okay, there it is. So it is saving the map. The whatever to the map. Okay. Second one. All right, so it's saving the X, the Y, and the terrain type, which is exactly what we want, and actually mirrors the JSON file that we have here, right? So over here we have it named differently, but it's essentially the same, right? The topography, X and Y. And if you want to output it, okay. All right, so that's what's going on. It's not outputting the information, it's outputting the squares themselves. So that's what that is. And we're using terrain squares. Okay, I'm going through this again, just FYI, because it's been a while since I've touched this applications. I've been doing other exercises on a different application. Now I'm just like coming back to this and I'm trying to apply everything that I've learned to this. But yeah, essentially what I'm doing is that I am what am I doing here? Right, this is all this creates the outline on the element that we're selecting. Instead of console logging the active square is equal to element, console log this. Actually, let me remove console log from this. There we go. Okay, we got it. Okay, so that did it. That did it. The only thing that's happening right now is that we're setting state. The outline that is being drawn around the square is not disappearing. I'm wondering whether or not we meet that state. feel like right now it's not super necessary. If active square is equal to element, active square not equal to that active square null, then set active square element again. That works. What if we set active square to null? If active square not equal to element, then set active square null. This is supposed to take out the outline, but it's not doing that. Alright, let's see if that works. Okay. Active square is equal to null, or active square is equal to element, then do this. If it is equal to element, do... Why is it doing that? Hold on. Right. So if you click it twice, the outline appears and disappears. That's what essentially this says. Else, if active square is equal to null, which is what the else here is handling, give it a solid black color. Else if, right? So there's this. We're putting this in an else if. Else if the active square is not equal to the element, set it equal to the element, and give it an active, and give it an outline. I think we need to make element. Well, we need to set it as state. Not sure how to do that. So it would be something similar to element, set element, equal to use state as EML element. I think that's how it's done. I have absolutely no clue, and we'll put that as eTarget. Right? Take this out. It should. Well, it's not working. Then target is missing the following properties from type HTML. Which properties? Alright, Google. Property value does not exist on type event target. I have the same problem as we're having. Well, it doesn't look like it. You need to explicitly tell TypeScript that the type of the HTML which is your target. The way you do it is using a generic type to cast it to a proper type. Oh. HTML element. Key target, okay, let me see if I can do this HTML element. Did that fix it? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so now we got that, right?
Si vous ne pouviez plus chanter, je ne vivrai pas.
Now we need to pass it into the function or the condition.
Moins que la solitude. Priez-vous? Ah oui, parce que je comprends.
Now the question is how. Let's first visit this condition because it's the control, right? Because from the get-go, active square is going to be equal to null, and it's not going to be equal to the element. So it's going to be going into this. And then over here, we're going to set active square to element. And I think select square. Functions, select square. On click, we're going into this function right here. Which means that where do we set the element? Oh yeah, we set it here whenever we click. Select square E, and then date, then we set element here. E.target as HTML element, right? Okay, so we define a constructor or deconstructor, and then we set element for element, and then every time we press the button, it's supposed to set the element, or it's supposed to set the state of element. And so every time we hit that condition, element would have been. Oh, see, worked. Oh, whatever. Hooks can only be called inside the body of a function. Did I do that again? I did again. But it is inside of a body of a function. Hold on. Maybe this has to be outside here. Yeah, no. Okay. You might have mismatching versions of React in the renderer. So React DOM, you might be breaking the rules of hooks. I thought that could probably be the case. You might have more than one copy of React in the same app. Actually, it might be the case. How do I find out whether or not that's the case? I had multiple instances of React by mistakes when I'm trying to use got this error at the body of a component, which is not correct since I was using function components. It took me a while to find the real cause of the issue. Alright, yeah, the reason why I say that might be the reason, because I remember like I installed React, but then I reinstalled TypeScript on top of it. I'm not sure whether or not I followed the correct protocol to do that, but I might have made some mistakes in that respect. So I had the same issue and I resolved it by adding this. Where do you add this path resolve? It has to be in one of the config files, right? Where here? Or package? To resolve property in webpack config in my main app. What did he say? Resolve property in webpack config of my main app. Webpack config. Talking about this? Oh. Resolve JSON module. Resolve property in webpack config. Can't find webpack config. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to that this is what he's talking about over here. For a second. Property key double quoted. Okay. Property key. Value expected. Okay, clearly not here. Okay. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Why am I going through this trouble? And why not just create a new app, right? Problem is that if I create a new app, then I would have to reinstall TypeScript anyway, and I might reach the same problem anyway. So might as well just figure it out now. And you know, like, I'm still thinking as to whether or not I want to continue TypeScript or just switch over to switch over to stay in JSX, I suppose. Okay, where were we? I mean, I really do hope that the mistake is happening because of something that I did incorrectly and not because of anything else. E.target HTML. Well, let's just set it as null. Type this. Object is possibly null. Okay, hold yeah. If it throws an error, it wouldn't let me move forward. So, we need to set it as, it has to have a starting value. Starting value would be, well, I think I see why the error is happening. I think it's because, when we're setting the state, we're setting the state to a value that has not yet been established, which is something that will be established once I click on one of these squares. How can I work around that? What if we remove the e-target? What error did it throw? I mean, that's an interesting problem. It's a very interesting problem. It loads fine, but when I click, it throws an error. Uncall error, invalid hook. Hooks can only be called inside of the body of a function component. Okay. Let's actually take this out from here. No. Yeah, let's take it out from here. Place it here, and then let's give it a null. Here. Then, I don't understand why this is becoming an object is possibly null. No, because we are setting it here. Object is possibly defined. All I need to do is just give it a value so that this doesn't throw an error. But the problem is that I can't pass it a value if the click hasn't happened yet. So maybe we can put a condition here. Maybe it's like if element not null, then do this, right? And we'll put it inside of that. And element is not undefined. Thank God. All right, let's see if that worked actually. Hopefully it did. All right, well, it's not throwing an error. That's a good thing. Okay, but then we're still not setting state. Where is it? Okay, so actually we need to set state outside over here. Come on, baby. Oh no. Oh yes. Okay, but I need. Okay. Okay, so I'm clicking here. Okay, deselecting works fine, but whenever I click on something else, this is not disappearing. I want this to disappear, which was essentially, you know, the problem we were facing earlier and we were trying to fix. So that's good. That's good. I mean, moving forward. Okay, now all we need to do is make sure that when the active square is not equal to element, we set element. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we need to first set the element. Set element to null. Why? It's not assignable to a parameter of type set state action. Undefined. Undefined. Okay. I don't know if that works. Setting a state as an undefined. Yeah. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, it's behaving weird manner. We could probably fix it if we are able to set the element to an element that is something that the user or player won't be able to see, right? So if we set the HTML element be something else, like, I don't know. Fired when the value of an input select or temporary element is about to be fired when the value of an input select or text change. Fired when the value of an input select text area element has been changed and committed by the user. Unlike the input event, the change event not necessarily fired for each. two elements, two and an element. So what can an element? No, that's my question. Can it be equal to the document? Let's see if we can make it equal to the document. Argument of type document, not assignable parameter to type. Type document is missing the following properties from the HTML element. Okay, so let me see if there's like some TypeScript documentation that about this. TypeScript. This is TypeScript, right? I don't know if like you can do the same thing in JSX. TypeScript. Come on, like there's no documentation? There's no official documentation on TypeScript? Where's the website? Documentation, TypeScript for JavaScript. Reference. Okay, you're right. Basics. No, those are the basics. Classes. I mean, they should have it here somewhere, no? Type manipulate. I don't think. All right, so all you're doing with this is okay, so you're giving it a type, the use state of type string, and then you're setting its value. All right, now that I understand, or I understood. But HTML element, what can it be equal to? Right here, this thing is supposed to tell us, but it's not really helpful. Listen to these events using add event listener or by assigning an event listener to the on event name, property of the interface. Hold on. On invalid, the invalid event fires when a submittable element has been checked for validity and doesn't satisfy its constraints. Okay. Okay, let me refresh my memory as to like what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Close down the and keep it right. So now I'm clicking here. I'm clicking again to 3. Clicking. Okay. Clicking. All right. So selecting the box. Oh, hold on. No, every new box that I select requires me to press twice for it to be selected, and only on the second time do I get this console log over here. That's because I think, okay, I think I know what's going on. Well, actually, I'm not sure, but I feel like it has something to do with how I'm handling set state right after the element passes through this condition over here. Right? So if element is not equal to null and element is not equal to defined, to undefined, it has to do something, no? Because we set that, so if active square is equal to null or active square equal to element, right? So if we take this out and we put it over here with an and, no, that won't work. Well, the condition has to be on the outside. All right, I'm tempted to take a break from this problem and move on to another problem, try to fix that, which is the one where we generate the map with, right? Where is it? Oh yeah. What am I doing today? There it is. Parse the JSON file and generate a map from it. Make a countdown effect. CSS change. Yeah, well, I mean, essentially, that's what I wanted to do. But the problem is that I can't make it so that this changes, which is super. It's like behaving. What if we switch it back to the way it was? Say, right. Take the. Okay, that's the way it was before. That element going on with you? All right, that okay. So now we're back to the way it was. Okay, so much better without set state, much better. The only problem is that we wanted to remove the border. Want to remove the border. Whenever we're clicking on a different one. This should be handling it. Set act. What if we didn't set that word element? What would happen? Absolutely nothing. Okay, hold on. Is it even going through here? Going through here. Also. Oh, it's not even going into that. Okay. So, what's the problem? Are we not setting set active square to element? It is going to this one we're clicking the first time, but the second time I think it's this. Set active square to equal. And then have to set active square to null. I mean, I feel like it's just a logic thing, you know, like just if I figure out where if I figure out like where, you know, the logic is going through, then I'm able to figure it out. Third if. Great. So the third if, this one, getting activated whenever I'm deselecting an element. Whenever I'm clicking on an element, this one. So if we take this, drop it into the else statement, okay. Here, else if. Object is possibly null. How in the world? And not equal to null. Active where not equal. Love of God. Over here we'll put an else. Alright, that's correct, right? go into the third if whenever I'm selecting. That means the active square is equal to the element by the time I reach them. Back for right now, it's really hard to look at. Okay. Maybe we need to check whether or not the active square is not equal to the element first before we check anything else. If active square I mean, we're console logging the element every time we click on a new one. And every time we're clicking on a new one, you get a new element. So essentially, that should take the old active square element.style.border, or active square style border. Dude, I have a feeling that the solution is super simple. I'm just like I'm not seeing it properly because of like the nested ifs, you know? I have an if and another if and another if and an else statement and then an else if statement that, you know, continues from the first if. Like, what's going on? Well, anyway, my 2-hour session is almost over, so it would be a shame if I'm not even able to figure that out, you know? But, active square is equal to the element. Let's comment this out. Let's see if this will help us, okay? When deselecting square, remove outline, right? And this one is when selecting a square, add outline. Okay, so I feel like over here is when we should make the active square here. Active square is possibly not else. Okay. Else if active square not equal to null. This should work. I mean, I don't see any reason why this should not work. Maybe an or additional condition. Or if and oh, or hold on. Maybe we can make a nested if over here. If active square not equal to null. Remove the outline. And over here, put an L. Good work. Oh. Oh. If active square is not equal to null, and active square not equal to element, oh, unbelievable. Are we even setting the active square equal to the element? That active square. Active square element. Then the element. I mean, technically, it should be working. Unless there's something like super obvious that I'm missing over here. Alright, I think this should not be an else. I think we should be explicitly defining what's going on here. Else if active square not equals element, then do this. Yes. Yeah, but take this out, then it throws an error. Fun. Active. I just need to know whether or not it's going this condition or. No. Okay, what if we do this? Put it over here. Say and active square is not equal to this, so that it actually goes into this. Right? It doesn't wanna. Oh. Well, I think I'm gonna have to like flip this whole thing around. Actually, JSX. TSX. Alright, now let's take everything we have here. Right here. Now flip the whole thing over. You guys should be able to see the whole thing, right? How do I remove it? Anyway, doesn't matter. Where is it? Right, this we don't need over here, I don't think. Not anymore. Right. Okay, so if active square not equal. Hold on, stop the music. Let me think. If active square not equal to else if. So if active square is equal to null, this will happen. Active square will be set to element. But then once we click again, and active square is again not equal to element, hold on. If it is again not equal to element, then we want you to delete the border. Okay. Okay. What if we put this in a different else? Say this. What happens? All right, no matter how much I click, and it's not even going into the, not even going into this. That, okay, let me do this again. We start off with active square being equal to null. We say that if active square is equal to null, or active square is equal to element, and then if active square is equal to element, this, then remove the border. Otherwise, if it's not equal to element, not equal to element, active square not equal to log first condition. First condition, not even. That's good to know. Active square is not being, well, neither null or nor element. What? Oh, because it's over here. Element is not equal to. Okay, this is okay. So now log, please. Okay. Over here. If active square is equal to null, active square is equal to element. Hold on. Oh, maybe there was an error because. All right, but if I remove this, I remove this, does it work again? It works again. But is it actually going through this? First, okay. So the first condition is being met every time. But the second time we click on the same one, it's going into third if. And the first time we're clicking on, it's going into this. First time we're clicking this, and Maybe over here. All right, maybe we need to store the old element. Okay, so const, I think that's what the problem is. Old element equal to element. Then we say that else if element, no, hold on, else if let's just do it in its own if statement, maybe. If element not equal old element, that the old element. I think this over here, we need to define it. Const declaration must be initialized. Set it equal to an HTML element. Yeah. Maybe we can set it. Whew. Man, I have no idea why I'm having such a hard time figuring this out. I'm sure like the solution is super easy. The else if takes away the problem that we were having with the active square. But what if we initialize that he called it null? Then over here somewhere said old element is equal to element. No. When we deselect it. Selected. No. Select a new one. Yeah. Okay. Maybe here. Full. Then here, element is not equal to old element. I don't think this is gonna solve it though. Yeah. But the problem is that it's not even going into this thing. If active square is equal to element, where are we setting the active square? Por favor. Here. We're setting the active square equal to element, right? But then the second time the mouse button goes in, we're setting the element again right at the end. Yeah, I see what the problem is just that I can't seem to figure it out. Because this is here where we want to set the old element. I mean, literally, this is where I need this thing to be. But why is it sending in a null? Active square is equal to element. Else if active square not equal to null. Gotta work, man. Okay, now we're going through the first condition, but then not going into it. Okay. Okay, let's just put in a different else state. Else. The other way around actually. Let's have the element. What if we pass this? All right, this is gonna be a little questionable. We actually find this. And we said, oh, it's not. Oh, it's a constant. I think this has to be the first thing that it goes through to check whether or not the active square is the current active. No, it's not. Okay, yeah. Okay, hold on. It has to be something like if active square not equal to element, like so. The first thing I wanted to do is to take out the style borders. That's the first thing, if I'm not mistaken. Like so. Or active square not equal and active square not equal to this. But this would then have to be if statement on its own, but ran right at the beginning. What an odd freaking problem, man. Okay. This has got to be the end of the stream, guys. I'm gonna look at this problem and hopefully get it fixed by next time. So we'll both go through the problem together and we'll both fix it together, and then we'll hopefully be able to move on to the other tasks which I had ready for today, which is essentially the having the CSS move based on a countdown timer that I've made before, and then we'll do the other challenge, which would be to grab the JSON file that we have right here and render a map using, well, we'll render a map using this, right? So we'll have an entire map using the information that we grabbed from this JSON file. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It would really be very helpful to me if you followed us on our socials, if you checked out our website. Again, we are doing this series on Twitch so that we can promote our service that we're doing at Nuwe. Well, it's Nuwe, Newbie, Nuwe, so whichever way we'd like to call it, it's correct, right? But anyway, if you can check out our websites, check out our socials, really appreciate it. It would help me out as well, since I'm the one who's taking care of all these for the company. Anyway, guys, have a good one. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get through more challenges next time. Yeah, thanks again. See you guys soon.